I think we can go ahead and dive in. We're a couple minutes past the hour. If more folks trickle in, that's great. Feel free to share your location in the chat. But today we're going to be talking about scaling your business with Mapbox. So first, a couple of housekeeping things to cover. Jack and I will be speaking English today, but captions are available in multiple languages. You should see that at the bottom of your screen. You can click the button to enable captions and enable them in the language of your preference. If you have a question for us, we will be taking questions at the end of the session. Please submit those through the Zoom Q&A. It just makes it easier for us to review and select them for that time within the session. Also, with your presence here today, you'll be entered to win some Mapbox swag. And with every session that you attend and build, you'll have another entry to that drawing for the Mapbox swag. So if this is your first session, go take a look at the catalog in the lobby. Or on our website, mapbox.com/build, and find some other sessions to attend. I'll actually be on one later today talking about navigating the Mapbox ecosystem, and then on Thursday talking about support. So take a look at the catalog there. There's a lot of great sessions for you to attend. And we'll go ahead and get started. So today's format is a coffee chat, sort of casual chatting about scaling your business with Mapbox. And my name is Leah Mikalinka. As I mentioned, I'm based in Austin, Texas. I'm a customer success manager here at Mapbox. I'll let my colleague Jack introduce himself.
Thanks, Leah. Yeah, so hi, everybody. My name is Jack Williams. I am one of the strategic account managers here at Mapbox, and I am based in London.
Thanks,
and I
Jack.
guess I'll take it over from here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, look, just want to say, honestly, everybody, thank you so much for joining this call today. Like Leah said, it is a coffee chat, so please do engage in the comments section. If you have any questions, make sure to get them in. But yeah, we're excited to discuss with you how you can really, leverage our APIs and SDKs and scale your business to build amazing mapping mobile applications and web applications. So really, the first thing that you need to do if you want to get started with Mapbox is that you need to sign up for a free account. And this is a very simple task to do. All you have to do is go into mapbox.com, and in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a blue button that says sign up. Click on that, and that will take you through to the next screen, and you will see a form that you have to fill out. So, it's all the sort of basic credentials that you'd usually see when it comes to creating your account. You'll just have to identify whether it's a business account or an individual, your full name, provide the organization you work for, your email address, create a username and a password, and then you do just have to tick on the box to agree to our terms of service. There won't be any other formal contracts within the pay-as-you-go scheme, so you will have to adhere to our terms of service. And then from there, you click create account, and then you have registered your free account, which is great. So that means you'll be joining the other pool of 3.5 million registered developers that we have that use Mapbox. But I honestly think one of the greatest things about Mapbox is that we want to work with everybody, whether you're a one-man band, you're a scaling startup, or you're a Fortune 500 company. We want you to develop amazing solutions with our different products and services. And so to ensure that we can help you scale, we provide the right contracts and tools to enable you to do that. So, whether you're starting out and you need to be on a pay-as-you-go contract, where you can start for free and then your usage can grow and you build on a monthly cycle. We include things around volume discounts, which are applied to every single customer that we have, right? When you're using our products and services, our pricing is the same if you're on the pay-as-you-go contract. But if you are a really well-established business and you know that you're releasing a project that's going to have very high volumes and high usage, it's always worth speaking to an account manager straight away to look at the best commercial options that we can put in place to ensure that you're getting the best value for money. And to do that, all you have to do is go to mapbox.com/contact/sales, and we can put you in touch directly with a strategic account manager like myself. And can we go to the next slide, please, Leah? But yeah, talking about pay-as-you-go, I think this is such a great way to get your business kickstarted with leveraging location intelligence. So many different customers that start off with Mapbox do start on the pay-as-you-go contract, and it's great because there's really no investment commitment required from you, right? So all you have to do, like you already done the process, you've created your free account, and then you can instantly start to interact with the different APIs that we provide. And you don't even have to speak to a Mapbox employee if you don't want to, right? We've got amazing documentation that you can use straight away. But the great thing with Mapbox as well is that, we provide free tiers for every single API SKU. So, a lot of companies that I work with, they've built amazing solutions, and they might never exceed the free tier, right? So they can use our products and services for free. But also we don't want to restrict anybody from the different tools that you can use. So we offer 27 different APIs, and every single one of them has a free tier. So that really gives, developers an amazing line of creativity where you can build solutions that include maps, search, navigation. The world's really your oyster, right? And, we want to be a company that enables our customers to build amazing solutions for your customers. And yeah, so there's no commitment and you can get going straight away.
Yeah, and I think this is really great. I mean, just the fact that you're able to go ahead and get credentialed with Mapbox, spin up a proof of concept without talking to anybody, without spending any money, without talking about all of these like terms and signing your life away, I think is really great. And that's something that really sets Mapbox apart from other companies that you've probably encountered. Very easy to just you see if the idea that you're thinking of will work with Mapbox, and when you try it, we're confident that you'll love it.
100%. And just to go back for 1 second, Lee, there was just one thing that we need to point out. Just in the bottom left-hand corner, we talk about boundaries data and movement data. These are data products that we do sell, so they are not accessible through the API. But if you do need to embed boundaries or telemetry data into your application, we can set up trials to do that. So I just wanted to point that out so everybody was aware on the call. Great. And so talking about the volume discounts, right? We've sort of spoken about if you're a developer and you want to build a solution and you're in the beta stage, that's great. But let's say you launch your product and you see huge growth, which is always fantastic, right? That's what we want for everybody. So we as a company, we want to make sure that if you are going to have a lot of growth within your business, we need to ensure that we have volume tiers that are applied so that you are making sure that you're getting the best value for money. And so this is just an example of our map loads for web, right? So Mapbox, we do provide 50,000 free map loads per account for every single month. But as soon as you go over that tier, you can start to see that, there will be a price that is incurred. So if you look down the left-hand corner where it's broken into the volume tiers, you can start to see how that scales the more and more usage that you have. So the first 50,000 get completely free, resets every month. Then when you move into that 50,000 to 100,000 range, you're paying $5 per 1,000 map loads, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this is really critical. Mapbox recognize, if we want our customers to stick with us and that we can support their growth properly, it's important to have these volume tiers baked into the pay-go scheme.
Yeah, and this graphic that you see, there's one of these on every product that's offered on the pay-as-you-go model. So if you're trying to anticipate your costs, you can go and select the product and slide this bar to the volume you anticipate. And you'll see that it does tell you to contact sales if you get to the higher end of the threshold.
Perfect. And yes, so this is the next stage, right? So we would recommend contacting sales if you are a really large business that has a very specific use case, and you also know that there's going to be very high volume. So we need to ensure that you've got the right commercials around that. So it's a very simple way of touching base with us. There'll be a contact sales form where, likewise, before you enter your credentials, but also we want to find out a bit more about your company size and what it is that you're about to achieve. And then based on that information, we will assign an account manager to reach out to you that will be, working within that vertical to ensure that you're getting the best advice around implementation. And also you can start to look at where the future savings are. So we do offer different contracts from the pay-as-you-go contract. If you are one of these customers and you know that you're going to fall into a tier where the usage is going to be really high and it's going to be quite a complex implementation, definitely get in touch with us. There's a few different reasons why annual contracts can be really great for a lot of customers. Number one reason being that you do receive better value for money, and you do unlock another level of volume tiers as well, which is great. But also our account managers have the ability to assign further discounts to your contract as well. So you have the volume tiers with an additional of a further discount. And that's on a project by project basis. So we'll work closely with you to identify what's the best way to move forward. We also do encourage customers to look at multi-year contracts as well. So we do have that potential for you. It really depends on what the business needs are. Some customers like to do it on a year-by-year basis, but if customers are worried about pricing changes year to year, might look at doing a multi-year contract. It's really just on a project by project basis. But yes, if you are one of those customers and you fall into the scheme of you're a large business releasing a project that's going to have a lot of usage, please do reach out to contact sales. And you will speak to a strategic account manager, and we'll make sure that you've got the right support around you and commercials too.
And on that note, you do have the ability to have a combination of contracted usage and pay-as-you-go usage as well. So keep that in mind as you're scaling your business, maybe adding additional products to the mix from the Mapbox solutions. You can have a combination of contracted and pay-as-you-go usage.
Perfect. And just finally as well, you can actually predict your usage with Mapbox, which is great. So, if you're worried that you're going to overspend, you can actually predict what your costs are going to be like on a monthly basis. All you have to do is go into mapbox.com/pricing. Every single API is listed on there. And within those toggle bars, you can literally drag and estimate exactly what your usage will be. It will populate an amount for you. And then you can base your monthly costs on that. And I just want to make it very clear that our pay-as-you-go pricing is the same for every single customer. So there's no differentiation. So you can be very confident that if you have that certain amount of usage, that is the price that you're going to be paying.
Absolutely. Okay. So to guide you along the way as you're implementing or even you scaling up your solution with Mapbox, we do provide a variety of self-service support options. We provide our Mapbox documentation platform. So a variety of tools and code examples and best practices and technical documentation for you to review as you're implementing. I really highly recommend looking at the code examples in the API playgrounds when you have an idea of what you're trying to implement with Mapbox. Whether you're trying to implement fully self-service or you're working with a Mapbox team, you are going to have developers who will need to actually implement within your app or website. And these are great resources to be able to see the exact code and to play with the APIs and understand the functionality, as there are many APIs available. There's also tutorials that you can watch to achieve certain end results, how-to videos, other developer tools like geospatial.io and the location helper. And when you need it, we have a really powerful Ask AI tool. It's quick and easy. You're going to ask your question to the Ask AI tool and immediately get a response. Our AI is trained on Mapbox documentation site and other internal documentation resources. So forget ChatGPT. Come use our Mapbox Ask AI. It's trained by us on our materials, and it will not hallucinate. If it doesn't know how to answer your question, it will tell you that. You can really trust the accuracy that you're getting with our Ask AI tool. We also have a Discord, Mapbox Devs Discord, to join. So if you're developing on Mapbox currently, if you're thinking about it, go ahead and join that Mapbox Discord. You can see what folks are talking about. You can ask for assistance or ask what others have done in a situation that you're in, and get assistance from the community as well. All of this is available to anyone wherever you are in your journey with Mapbox, whether you're just poking your toe in the water, checking it out, or whether you have a live implementation. All of these resources are available to you and can be really helpful as you're actively working on your solution.
And Leah, just quickly, I just want to second around the Ask AI, because I honestly do think it's such a great tool that we have released. And a lot of the customers that I work with, if they can't speak to someone Mapbox directly in time, Ask AI has been a fantastic tool. So if you are looking to get developing with us, please make sure to try it out, because it will definitely kickstart your implementation. Sorry, I'll give it back to you now, Leah.
Oh, absolutely. Like the Ask AI, you can ask it to check your code. You could ask it, how would I achieve a certain style, and it'll give you code. So it's really a valuable resource. And if you haven't tried it, everyone should. But when self-service tools aren't enough, sometimes you have a question and you really just want the confidence from an expert to be able to know that the answer you're getting is accurate, and you can have some back and forth with a person. We do have an amazing technical support team. Our technical support engineers are all experts on Mapbox, and we offer a variety of support plans that allow you to submit questions to the technical support team. At the low end of the spectrum, as an individual, you can sign up for $50 a month. No commitment to keep the support plan for any amount of time beyond a month. It's a month-to-month plan. And this is great for somebody who's interested in self-service, but wants that extra support and guidance when they need it. We also offer 2 solutions for businesses. The business support plan is $6,000 a year, and it covers your entire team of developers and other staff working on the project, and it gives you better SLAs. The premium option, you would need to talk to Jack or someone in the sales role to understand the pricing for your solution and for your business with premium support. But there's a lot more help and guidance along the way with premium. All of these support plans are available at mapbox.com/support. You can subscribe to individual or business directly from your Mapbox account. When you're logged in, you can hit subscribe. For that premium option, you would need to submit the contact sales form and talk to one of our account managers, but they'll get you taken care of straight away. I do recommend, if you're actively implementing, having some level of support plan in place just for when you might need some assistance to make sure that your timeline is able to be met. This is a little bit more detail about these support plans. As you can see, what we have labeled here as developer support on the left is the support that everyone receives. It's our self-service support. You have access to all of our community resources. You have access to understand the status of our various products and services. And then that AI tool that we mentioned, Jack and mine's favorite, is available all the time. Ask it as many questions as you'd like. You can see that as you go further to the right here, the individual plan, it gets you the ability to email technical support engineers one-on-one and get a response within 3 business days. If you have the business level support, you have that support for your whole team, and then a little bit better SLAs when you get into higher priority issues. You can see that on a P2 ticket, you would get a response within 1 business day. For a P1 or P0, it would be 4 business hours. And then premium comes with everything that you would receive in business. Your whole team gets access with premium support, but a little bit of a break on the SLAs with premium as well. You've got this 30-minute response time for P0, which is emergency tickets that you're submitting. This would really be for customers who have a mission critical implementation of Mapbox. If you need Mapbox to be able to deliver your business objectives, then premium support is going to ensure that if there's ever an emergency situation where you need help quickly, you are able to get a response to a ticket you submit within 30 minutes. You get access to a GitHub repository so that you can exchange code with our team of experts, your technical support engineer, and you will get a dedicated technical support engineer. So whenever you contact Mapbox in need of assistance, it's the same person who's familiar with your business, familiar with your implementation, and just having that dedicated TSE who really aligns to you throughout the journey, can answer your questions and make recommendations, is really valuable to have someone that understands your use case. In addition to a dedicated technical support engineer, you will be eligible for a technical program manager with Mapbox whenever you have specific milestone-based projects in flight. So when you're implementing, if there's a project that you're doing that has a certain outcome milestone that you're trying to achieve, then Mapbox can align a technical program manager to manage the project for you, guide you along the way, bring in engineering from Mapbox if necessary, and really just make sure that you're well taken care of. So this is sort of the detailed breakout of the 3 different options that we have for support plans, developer being that kind of baseline for everyone with the self-serve tools. As you can see, we recommend that minimally, if you have a business necessary production environment with Mapbox implemented, you go with the business solution. We talked a little bit about premium too, but if your business relies on Mapbox, and you should have business at minimum. So those are the support plans. And again, you can see more at mapbox.com/support about these plans. I think we actually have a question from the audience. And so I can read that here, and Jack and I can try to answer it. Are there separate terms from your TOS and MSA for the GitHub repo code exchange under the premium support model? So this is actually a question that's asking about our terms and MSA related to the support model. I'm not sure who asked that, but I think it's essentially like whether the GitHub repository you'd get with premium support would be bound to the same terms and conditions and MSAs, I think is what's being asked.
Look, I know for a fact if you're just a regular customer using our APIs and our SDKs, our terms of service and our MSA do apply to everyone. I mean, there is things that we can look at within the contract that can be changed. But in terms of changes to the GitHub repo code, I'm actually not 100% sure. So if you don't mind, we'll come back to you with an answer after this, if that's okay.
And actually, if you're purchasing premium support, you're going to be working with one of our sellers. And so these are the types of questions that they can run down for you. And when you're purchasing premium support, you're going to be purchasing Mapbox through a contract typically. So if there's special terms that are needed, or if questions like this to be addressed, you'll be working with Jack or another one of our trusted sellers to get all the answers to these questions. We're not exactly sure whether it applies to the GitHub at face value, but we'll look into that.
I've got a question. I see a question here from Jay Scott. From Jay Scott, how do you access the AI support? So all you have to do is, Jay, if you just go onto the Mapbox documentation, and in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a Ask AI widget. All you have to do is click on that, and then you can start interacting with it straight away.
Yeah, when you're logged into your Mapbox account, it's right there in the bottom right corner of the account dashboard where you can see your usage and you link out to Studio. It's also across our documentation pages. So there's a few ways to get there. Bookmark it if you'd like. When it opens up, you can bookmark the page and then just have it available whenever you need it as well. I think I see there's a few more questions.
Keep them coming. It's good to see them come through.
Absolutely. Appreciate the banter. Let's see. Chris, I think, was the next question. Give us a cost profile that we should expect to pay for each plan based on some general usage quotas. So this is a question about support plans. Our first two are very straightforward. The $50 a month will get you individual developer support. The business level support is $6,000. And actually, I think maybe Chris, are you asking about support?
I think, yeah.
Or maybe about product, actually.
If it's about product, Chris, on the pricing page that you just hosted there, within each of the individual SKUs, if you have an understanding what your usages will look like, you can literally just type them in to each of the boxes, and that's going to generate a price for you. And the prices that are given within the pricing page are on a monthly basis. Yeah. So yeah.
So this is
nice, lovely.
That's the tool you can use there. And so it is important to anticipate demand. Sometimes if you're launching a new solution, you don't necessarily know what that demand will be, but just anticipating it the best you can, and then understanding the solution that you're planning to build. This is just one of our products, the Isochrone API, but each of the products that's available on the pay-as-you-go plan will have this slider. And so just slide over to the volume that you would anticipate monthly, to see the monthly cost. And when you exceed if you slide all the way to the right, it's going to tell you contact sales, because at that point you can get a better situation by talking to a seller.
I've also just sort of another point to bring up as well. If there's ever a point, right, like on here it's saying contact sales for pricing, right? But let's say you're using one of our APIs and your rate limit needs to get increased as well. That is another time when you should be reaching out to either support or your account manager, and we can look to do that as well, because sometimes it doesn't provide enough for what you need. So just always make sure that, if you're developing a solution that needs additional coordinates or waypoints or a bigger rate limit request, make sure to reach out to us and we can help you.
And let's see, I think we had a few more questions. Oh, here's one. What strategies can I use to manage costs effectively while scaling with Mapbox? That's a great question. And I guess I'll let you take that one, Jack.
Well, I honestly, this just really comes down to, how how much growth you're expecting to have in that time, right? I think a good strategy, you know, if you're starting off small and it's going to scale and you want to understand what your costs are going to look like over a year after you've done 4 months of development, what I do usually recommend to customers is maybe do 3 months on the pay-as-you-go model. And then that's going to give you a really good understanding of what your usage could look like for the following year. And then based on what that usage is, we can look to potentially provide you with an annual contract where you have much better cost savings. But yeah, starting on the pay-go model first, working on it for 3 months, getting a really good understanding of what your costs are going to look like or what your growth is going to look like over those 3 months, so you can predict what the next 12 look like, and then we can right size a contract that way. So I'd recommend that's the best strategy for managing your costs effectively with Mapbox.
Absolutely. And let's see, are there any questions that we missed? I think we had a technical question from Ricardo that it sounds like would be best for our custom data pipeline sessions tomorrow. So sorry, Ricardo, Jack and I aren't the most technical, but we can have sessions where you could get that question answered. We hope you're able to attend. I see that Chris asked, the support plans are support on top of general product costs. That is correct. So support plans are separate from the product. If you do want to be able to email and get a response from a live person, and a technical support engineer who's well-trained on Mapbox, you do need a support plan. But remember that if you're on our pay-as-you-go model, or even if you're not, we're baking in some free product for you. So yes, a support plan would be required to get that individualized support, but we're kind of offsetting that by letting everybody try most of our products for free. I think there was the question of a cost profile we should expect to pay for each plan, and we did answer that, Marina. So,
yeah.
The cost for product is something you can play with on mapbox.com/pricing, and then support plans you can see at mapbox.com/support.
And if you are feeling like you're getting a bit stuck and you do need some additional help figuring out what costs look like, just go to contact sales, fill out the form, and then we can contact you directly as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't feel like you can't talk with the seller. I mean, just if ever in question, fill out that form and someone will get back to you and talk about your specific needs. I guess we're at 1 minute from time. So any last minute questions?
Come on, bring them in. Give us one more.
Okay, are there live in-person training or conferences that can be attended, or more in-depth training provided as support of the premium plan? So we don't have like classroom training or virtual training per se, but with the premium plan, you'll have your own dedicated technical support engineer that you can actually like set time with to talk through situations that you're in. It can give you that customized approach to your questions, as well as a technical program manager who will be working alongside you. So while not official training that you may be familiar with from other organizations, Premium will give you access to experts who will, in a bespoke way, be training you on the Mapbox products as you're implementing and as you're using them. And then one last question from Chris: what's the most critical customer mapping use case you can think of, i.e. live 911 triage, etc.?
That's a good question.
I feel like you've probably come across them pretty critical.
Well, yeah, it's different for me. I mean, that's a hard use case. I deal mainly with logistics customers, right? So mapping and navigation and optimization is absolutely critical in every single day-to-day use case, right? So trying to ensure that these drivers are delivering their parcels in the most efficient way possible. So I would say it's critical for all of our logistics customers. But I tell you what, I'm going to have to come back to you with a more critical use case. All right. So I'll find you on LinkedIn and I'll reach out to you, because that's a good question. And I didn't have a good answer on the top of my head. And
it's in our developer showcase on Friday, and you can hear about all kinds of really interesting.
Good call.
We are at time. We're a minute over. So thank you guys for being so attentive and for chiming in on the chat. We hope we've answered your questions today, and that you have a little bit of an understanding about how to scale and grow with Mapbox. And we hope to see you at other sessions this week. Enjoy Build.
Thank you all so much for coming. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you all. Have a great day.